Okay, so you guys just saw my last video about removing bearings and installing them. Not the greatest explanation. I'm not really slamming anybody's product here like SH or whatever, but they should actually consider their customers and use better bearings, but whatever. Anyhow, that's the one we were just playing around with. I'll get to that later. Here is my Blue Tub RC10 GT, which you guys have all seen. And it has an SH18 engine in it. It even says it right there, SH18. And it makes good power, actually. It's not bad for what it is. I've beaten the absolute tar out of this engine. And it still seems to keep going. It's got lots of compression, and it's probably got a couple gallons on it so far. Fucking cat. Anyways. So this block... Or actually what happened was, yeah, this engine ran terrible when I got it. It ran fine at first, then it progressively got worse and worse and worse. Couldn't figure it out, so... had it all apart one day and realized, you know, that there's fuel and oil bubbling out between the back plate, although there's a gasket there. I tried to seal that. It didn't really help it. It leaked just absolutely everywhere. So I went on eBay and I bought another block. I think I paid $13 for it. For another engine block, which is now in this truck. And it came with bearings. Or actually, sorry, no, it didn't come with bearings. I was going to buy new bearings, but SH wanted 39 Canadian dollars per bearing, which is absolutely freaking ridiculous. So, I happen to have a set of OS12 CV RX bearings, which I bought by mistake. The seller that I bought them from listed them as just CV, which are different than CVR or CVRX bearings. So when I got them, I realized that I was going to put them in my 12 CV and they didn't fit. So I thought, well, I'll just save them for a rainy day. Well, when I got that engine block and I was putting that engine together, I thought, well, shit, I need to get new bearings. So I pulled them out of this package. I thought, oh, you know, they're probably not going to fit, but I'm just going to see anyways. So I pulled them both out, and they are the exact same bearings, the exact same size. Like, identical in every way. Except, obviously, much, much higher quality. Steel caged, and flawless. Really nice stuff. These bearings are absolutely awesome. Fast Eddy. I pretty much put these bearings in all my trucks, all my engines and stuff like that, and I've never had a problem. And the nice thing is they're $10.99 a pack. If you're in America, they're $15 Canadian, which is still not bad for a set of bearings, considering 15 bucks for those, and they wanted $39 each for these, plus shipping and handling. So I thought, screw that. But when you do get a set of Fast Eddy bearings, just pretend these are, there'll be a seal. So this is the rear and this is the front bearing. There'll be a rear seal. Or the bearing, well, the rear bearing, sorry, will have seals on the front and the back side of it. So what you're going to have to do is get yourself a safety pin and carefully remove those seals out of the rear bearing. Otherwise, what will happen is the bearing won't get any oil. It'll seize up and kill your engine. The front bearing also has two seals on it. And you only have to remove one. Just the back side. So you have the back side will be open. That goes in that way. So that seal is at the front. Like so. You get the idea. Like that. These are just the old bearings I was screwing around with and demonstrating on that motor earlier. But so if your SH18 just won't tune or run properly, you could buy yourself a set of these. Right here will fit. These are exactly what's in that engine right now, and it runs absolutely perfect. The other thing is, go to your hardware store, Napa or whatever you guys have wherever you're at. Get yourself a tube of Ultra Black Permatex. This stuff is amazing. Oil resistant, extremely heat resistant. It's great stuff. And what I do is I take the, well, I have the engine apart, the back plate or adapter, starter shaft plate, whatever you want to call it, I put just a thin little layer of silicone in there and a little bit underneath the base of the carburetor. That way there's no chance for any air leaks. Oh, excuse me. And you also want to put a little bit, and it doesn't hurt just to put just a little thin layer on your exhaust gasket, because if you have any kind of exhaust leaks, your engine will never run properly because it won't be sending enough pressure to your fuel tank, because these engines rely on exhaust pressure to act like a fuel pump. So that's just a little tip for you guys. Also, switch out from your factory SH glow plug and run an OSA3, or number 6 is what they call it now. That's what I run in here. Way down in there, you can't see it, but yeah, it's a number 3. Or, yeah. OSA3 glow plug is what it is. And this SH18 has the slide carburetor on it. This truck's set up for slide. And it seems to work quite well now. It gets run on 20% nitro, just like everything else. And, I mean, this engine here, I paid $13 for it, actually. Basically brand new from a friend of mine. And, yeah, like I said, it ran good for a couple tanks, and started puking out the front bearing, and puking out from underneath here, and puking out of here, and out of everywhere. And I thought, well, that's no good. So I tore it down, bought a block for, I think, 15 bucks, and a set of bearings for 15 bucks, so it's a $30 engine. Whoop-de-doo. You know. So, as I've seen a lot of people go, oh, my SH doesn't run right, or this or that, you know, because it is one of those Red Cat engines, right? The other thing with these is the pull starter shaft will have to slip a lot. So what I recommend doing is taking off your pull starter. This is a dynamite pull starter, but whatever, same idea. So take off your pull starter, and you'll see that little starter shaft there. Just pull that out. Quick tip with these pull starters on these SHs, when you get all the screws out, take a butter knife and slide a butter knife behind here and pull the butter knife back while you're removing the pull starter, because these pull starters have no retainer on the front of them. And when you pull them off, the little spool that holds all your pull starter rope likes to fly out, and your spring goes doing, and it flies all over the place. Just a quick tip. Anyways, so you remove this, then you pull out your little starter shaft, and then what you do is you take, I don't know, roughly 800 grit sandpaper, clean it all really good, and just about the end of the starter shaft, about that much of it, take that and just sand it lightly. Just give it a little sand, just enough to break the glazing, clean it off with some brake clean, and stick it right back in there, put your pull starter back on, and it'll work flawlessly. What happens is the castor oil will glaze onto the shaft, and it eventually just polishes itself, you know, because you have steel parts rolling against each other. So it'll eventually just polish itself, and it's like, you know, it's like stepping on a skating rink. It's just so slick it can't grab. There's no friction, right? So what you gotta do is you rough up that surface ever so slightly, and it'll grab, and it'll work every time for you. Here's another little quick tip. So, yeah. Would like to go out and go bashing, but unfortunately my weather here and where I live in British Columbia, Canada is just terrible at the moment. It's windy and raining and nasty. But hopefully we'll get some better weather soon. Maybe some snow bashing. I can't wait for that. But once again, if you do have an 18 CVR that runs bad, and it doesn't matter what you do and it won't tune, this right here is your answer. This and this. These two things can make your SH run like brand new and make it run perfect. Just thought I'd like to share that with you guys. Anyways, take it easy. Rock on.